All right, welcome back. I'll try to make this one shorter. Let's talk about equations in this one. I guess I would say cool thing about LaTeX equations. So there's again like programming language formatting for how to write equations. Uh, Something that's nice is Microsoft Word now supports LaTeX input of equations. So even if you don't use LaTeX in your other classes, if you're writing equations in Microsoft Word, I found that once you learn LaTeX equation formatting, it's actually way faster than like the hunt and click type method of going about finding writing equations. So um, equations in LaTeX always start with a dollar sign. So let's call this. Before we do equations, let's do a couple of basic commands I didn't include last time because I forgot. Okay, sorry. Let's go here. Two commands that are kind of useful is let's say you want bold text. If you want bold text, you want to use a textbf command. So you type textbf, and then it'll automatically move your cursor into the curly brackets, and then you type, this is the bolded text. And then if you keep typing, you should get, it should recompile in a second here. So anyway, anything inside the curly brackets of the text BF is bolded. I assume BF is bold font. Anyway, if you want italics, that is text IT. Italics. Okay, in the curly brackets, and then again, if you just type the rest of the sentence, there's no spacing or anything else here. It's just italics is the part in the curly brackets, and then everything else just sort of continues on. So that's how you can do that. There is a third command called emphasis, which kind of also makes it bold, but I'm like not 100% sure how it's different. I've found that I just end up using it kind of looks like it's also italics, and I don't really know. Maybe you could redefine emphasis to be something different if you wanted it. But anyway, italics, bold, emphasis. There you go. Okay, let's do equations. Hey, let's do it like this. Equations. Okay, so the basics here of equations is that we're going to start this with every equation starts with a dollar sign. And then close dollar sign will get you there. Spin, spin, spin. Okay, cool. So one nice thing about equations is that it will just make all of your font italics. So if you're writing it, it's sometimes nice to do that. There's a bunch if you Google LaTeX equations. You can get commands for doing all sorts of different things. So like many of them I have to look up. A couple of useful things that are worth remembering is if you need to do Greek lettering, that's a backslash command. So let's say you need an alpha. Alpha is a command. And same, like it doesn't matter. I'm just making these each their own equation, but they don't have to be. Let's actually not do that. Is it going to do? Yeah, it is, but let's not do that. Let's go. So spaces work the same way. So let's actually grab here. Let's grab this guy here. And so, sorry, give me one moment to reorganize. Nope, we're going to do that. Nope, this didn't work. I said this was going to be faster, but maybe it's not. Which one's easier? Let's start here. Okay, cool. Did I lose it? Oh, there we go. Okay, I figured out what was wrong. Okay. Type. There we go. Okay, cool. So when we're looking at this, what we're seeing here is let's type a couple things, and so I can just sort of help an example, and then for other functions that you need in LaTeX, I would say Google the equations. We're at 4 minutes. Yeah, let's roll. Okay, so we're going to have f, and then we need a fraction, so that's a slash frac. And you'll see you get two different curly brackets, top of the fraction, bottom of the fraction. In the top of the fraction, we want D. If you want superscript, you're going to need an up caret. If you want more than one thing in your what do you call it, in your top of your superscript, encompass something in a curly bracket. Why is this complaining at us? Oh, that's why. Okay. So then we need f. So now we have d squared f in the top half of the fraction, and in the bottom half of the fraction we have d. I'm pretty sure this we said was an eta squared, and then close our curly bracket. Let's see. You can also stop at any point. You don't actually have to put spaces, but I find it easier to read the code when I put spaces, so I'm going to put a space, 2, and then can do this, frac, df in the top, d again, backslash, eta, nope. That's a little annoying sometimes when it closes it by itself, but it's fine. Then we're going to close the parentheses, we're going to go squared. Let's just say this is the end for now. Let's make this window big and reopen our split screen. Let's recompile and see if we did it okay. Yeah, not too bad. Okay, so let's see. We talked about squared. We talked about superscript. If you need a subscript, for if this was, say, I don't know, if you needed it to be alpha subscript 1, that's a what do you call it? Underscore. That's what you call that. Alpha 1. If you needed to have multiple characters in your subscript, again, put them in curly brackets. 1, 2, 3. There you go. If you need some of the fancier formatting, let's see. If we look up at some of the stuff I wrote in the top here, I looked up how to do limits. You're welcome to copy this if you like it. Yeah, so this is limit underscore, and then this is like a sort of a built-in way of doing limits. So that's just, I would say, look up if you need if you need like integral symbols, if you need other weird symbols, if you need summaries. I don't remember how to do those off the top of my head, so I always end up just like looking up how to do them from a reference guide. In any case, so you can see all of our equations are left justified here. One thing that I will also add, sort of that falls under formatting, but you're getting it here in equations, is that if you want stuff to be centered, that is a begin centering command. Begin center command. No, don't do that. It's being too smart. Okay, so it's yelling at me because I don't have an end center command, so I'm going to go end center. There we go. Now it's happy. And so what that means is everything between begin center and end center is going to get centered. Another kind of useful thing here is, like, let's say you want a little bit of space between your stuff. I think it's just going to make this italic because it's not really a second equation. Yeah, there you go. Right? It doesn't really understand it. Don't write words in equations. There's a command called quad, which gives you a nice like 4 or 5 spaces. Yeah, it just gives you a little bit of separation. And so, for example, if we scroll up, like the way I got some of this nice formatting in here is just by if we look at some of this equation here. So you see we've got first equation, then we've got a quad command. And is a command, so is percent, right? Percent is comment, so if you want to actually type an and symbol or a percent symbol, you got to go backslash first, then another quad, and then we have our second equation. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the basic of equations. Again, kind of a cool feature here is if you learn this formatting, you can then use it in Microsoft Word as well. This was not really planned, but here, let's do this real quick. Let's open a blank document and we go insert. Oh no. Where is equation? There we go. Insert equation. There we go. And you can see you've got your different options here. So if we type our, really, is it not going to alpha times 2, there's my exponent, so that's e to the negative 3t, sure. Okay, there's my equation. I go up and I go, did that not work? Oh, it probably needs to be capitalized. Damn it. Huh, I don't know what happened here. Okay, well, this does work, and I've got it working. There's a couple of quirks. This was clearly not a good addition to this. Okay, that didn't work. Anyway, most of it does work. So you can type equations as a LaTeX, which is kind of nice. So it does support some of that. There's a couple of oddities about how to get it to work. In any case, that's all for this one, and I will talk to y'all in a moment.